I don't think that that's easy. I think that that's very hard, especially for parents, especially for youth parents. I've got 16, 14, and 12. I've attended plenty of youth sports. It's not the umpire's fault. It's not the judge's fault. It just didn't quite work out the way we all wanted it to today. There's a wonderful life lesson in that experience for your child. The most important conversation is the one in the car, right? And it's something I'm very conscious of. And again, I think it's kind of, again, a little bit redundant, but communication's key. I think it's a lost art, especially as we've gone into the COVID world, of understanding kind of nonverbal clues from your athletes and having a genuine enough relationship to see, they walk in the building, like for us, they just don't have it today. And we talk a lot about that. There's some days you're not going to have it, and that's where your teammates have to pick you up. That's where we have to do everything we can to pick you up. And then, either around our meetings or post practice, it's, pulling that person aside and seeing what's going on. Where are things at in your life? You hope they trust you enough, but at times too, they're not going to want to show weakness, especially at our level and especially in my game.
Right.
And so it might take follow-up conversations or, alerting somebody else on the staff, like, hey, seems like Pat's going through something today. Can you find something out for me? Can you ask some questions to see what's going on? And sometimes it's nothing. They didn't sleep well. They didn't feel their body the right way. And then when you start talking about performance anxiety and, the right, mental self-talk and, all those types of things, are they carrying baggage from games or from practices or, things of that nature. And then sometimes, just the player coach relationship, there's friction there at times. And that's really where I think sometimes I talk to my staff a lot about, you got to take a time out. Like you got to take a time out. The relationship isn't working. What you're teaching and how you're teaching it may not be heard the same way you think it's being described. So you two get together, or if I need to get involved, I have no problem. I prefer you two work it out because again, I've got a group of 112. I can't be in 112 conversations, but at the same time, just, I think of any time the coachism, they don't really care how much you know until they know how much you care, is more relevant now than ever. And, I saw in the chat, one of the questions was about conditioning. We have to condition in our sport. You have to be in an elite level condition. Otherwise, things are going to go wrong mentally in the heat of the moment. And especially in our game, outside factors are a factor. I mean, we're going to play in 95-degree heat. It is a factor if you're not in the right proper conditioning when you're carrying pads and things of that nature. So it's looking at that as a performance enhancement than it is always about you didn't do it right, we're going to go run. The run aspect's got to be about helping the performance. If they fumble the ball, then instead of putting them on the line and run, then teach ball security drills, right? If they're dropping passes, then teach them how to catch the ball right. So it's a combination of the athlete hearing you, but more importantly, you as the coach taking ownership and responsibility for your teaching, methods and commitment to having clear dialogue and expectations.